So I'm an Irish fashion designer and I'm based here in Portlaois, and I have my studio and boutique here, and I design 2 collections a year, spring, summer and autumn, winter, and I sell to customers here in my own boutique directly, and I also sell to wholesale business as well. So I have different boutiques around the country, a lovely select number of boutiques here in Ireland that I sell to, and of course I'm trying to sell abroad too. That's my big aim. Yeah, I suppose when I studied in college, I studied fashion design and I really enjoyed it, and I studied at NCAD in Dublin, and I always had an interest in the business side of fashion as well as the design element, obviously. So it was kind of a goal that I always wanted to do. I suppose I didn't think I would be doing it so soon after college, but it's just the way it worked out. So thankfully I've done that, and it's nice to be, you know, 7 years into the business and set up and have things kind of in order as well by now. And now it's really all about growth and building the business. So that's very exciting times. So when I finished my secondary school, or I did my Leaving Cert, I went to IBYE and did a FETAC course there, where I did my portfolio course to apply to art college, because that's the essential part obviously of art college. And I spent a year there, which was fantastic, because obviously in secondary school you're so busy getting exam ready that it's hard to find time to have that creativity time to prepare for art college. So that allowed me to do that, and then I got accepted to NCAD, which was fantastic. And there I studied in core, which is kind of the first year is a little bit of everything. You're touching in on different aspects of the courses that are available. Fashion was obviously the course I was aiming for, so thankfully I got accepted there. And then I spent 3 years in the fashion department. And while I was there, I spent a lot of my summers getting work experience with Irish designers. I went abroad to New York and I worked with some designers over there. So just to learn my trade, which was great and very invaluable. And then when I finished there, I worked in the industry here in Ireland for a year, and then I launched my collection. So it was quite a quick process from college to setting up my own collection, but I had spent those summers you know, gaining as much experience as possible, and they really stood to me when it came down to the crunch of opening my own business. So my biggest milestone really, which always stands out to me, is opening my own boutique, because really that was, it was about a year after I set up the business, and so I had sort of dipped my toe in the water. I had started to get some wholesale business, and I had my own customers that I sold to directly to, but I really wanted a base that I could work from every day, have a studio space and have the boutique, which I did, and I was in quite a small unit at the start for the first few years, but it served me very well here in Portlaois. And 2 years ago we moved to our bigger premises here where we are, which is great. So it's all more in-house, and all the design is done upstairs, and we have our boutique downstairs, and it keeps me very real with what's happening in the industry and what's happening, you know, through feedback with our customers, and that keeps me kind of very close to how I design the collection and what I need to do in designing future collections here with my design team here, and obviously with the girls in the boutique as well. So that's very, very important to me, and really it allows me to have a shop window really, which allows me to show my collection and be a little bit more creative. And also I have my own boutique collection, so it's a Heidi Higgins boutique collection, which has a pink label on it, which is our sort of extra line, I suppose, that we have here in the boutique. And that's exciting because that allows me to be a little bit more creative, and I have my own outlet to sell it through without worrying about whether the wholesale customers will like it or not. It's just my little line where, you know, we can see and test the water with new styles and see if customers are interested in it. So that's very important and very helpful to us here too. So the IBYE competition was great, and I did it 2 years ago now, and it was it actually came at a perfect time for my business, because I'm big into looking at exporting now, and I'm really at the stage where my business is ready to do that. So it suited me down to the ground. That was my big aim, to gain more knowledge about that area and to make contacts with different buyers over there. So we're working, you know, very closely with different people that we've made contacts with, and we're dipping our toes in different markets and finding out, you know, where is the best route for us to go, and what are the best shows and things like that to take part in. So it really was a great help in that regard. Also, it was nice to meet some of the other local young business people, and to kind of touch base with them as well, because I suppose when I moved from Dublin, where I was originally for college and things like that, and came back home, you sort of feel like maybe you're taking a step backwards, but actually there's so much happening here locally, and there's so much new talent and new businesses setting up in lots of different aspects, and we're all, no matter what our industry is, we're all kind of facing the same challenges. So it's nice to be able to link in with them and have that little network or group going here as well. Yes, absolutely. I would encourage young entrepreneurs locally to apply for IBYE. It's a great opportunity. The workshop is actually really, really good if they get through to that stage for the weekend, and get to learn all the skills, and it gives you actually a chance to step away from your business when you are maybe setting out or starting up or at the very early stages. So much of your time is spent running your business on a day-to-day basis, so it is actually nice to be almost forced away from that for a few days and really look at your business and look at it from different eyes and hear other people's opinions on it, and you really you learn a lot of things that you wouldn't have maybe thought about because you were so enthralled with the everyday running of the business. So things like that I found were really, really very helpful, and if it wasn't for competitions like that, you're very much kind of stumbling along and trying to make do with what you have, and so it's certainly opened my eyes to different opportunities like that, and obviously to mentors and new people within our local enterprise centre as well. So 2017 will all be about the growth of the business, and as I mentioned, we have kind of reached a really nice stage of the business, and for us now it's about growing and exporting and dipping our toes even a little further into those new markets that we've sort of made contacts with, and see where we can take the business. So I mean, the fashion business is 2 seasons a year, so you're not going to jump from one thing to another like that. It is very much about building ground, and for us, I'm very much looking at the bigger picture and where I want the business to be in the next 3-5 years. So we're taking baby steps to get to that stage, and I've always done that in my business, and it's really stood to me not to jump in too deep and ruin things too early. So it's about learning and learning different markets, and making our way through those. So we've lots of big plans, we've lots of different projects we're working on, but I can't tell you too much about those just yet. But 2017 is going to be an exciting year.
Apply online at www.ibye.ie before October the 14th.